overseas.
I saw some of the same reporting. We would end the sales of these weapons of war, this kind of ammunition that was devised and is sold really for the sole purpose of killing people and ensuring that the entire kinetic energy of that high impact, high velocity round stays in and destroys the insides of the victim who has just been shot. No one should be able to order a gun like that over the internet from any country, nor should they be able to buy it at a gun show or buy it from a gun dealer here. So our plan would stop the sales of these weapons of war either domestically or internationally.
We go to Channel 2. Manning from Channel 2. Question, why racism this time, and Donald Trump specifically for your platform when he came to Greensboro? Why is that so particular this time?
Because it is such a dominant feature of President Trump's administration. His open racism, the way that he has described Muslims as a threat to this country, Mexican immigrants as rapists and criminals and drug dealers, though they commit crimes at a far lower rate. The way that he asked 4 members of Congress, all women of color, to go back to their country, or sought to elevate Klansmen by calling them very fine people. It is not just that it offends our sensibilities and flies in the face of the words 243 years ago that we were all created equal. It is also changing us. The mosque that was burned down, the synagogue into which a killer entered with a weapon of war to kill parishioners in fear of caravans that he thought that they were funding, the 22 people dead at a Walmart on August 3rd of this year in El Paso, Texas, as the killer, inspired by the president's words, echoing them in the manifesto he published just before he went on that killing spree, helps us to make the connections and to draw the conclusion that President Trump is dangerous for this country and poses an existential threat for many Americans. Only by saying that, speaking clearly, and then acting decisively are we going to be able to save the lives of our fellow Americans and then to save this country. Trying to end racism, making sure that white supremacist terrorism is a priority for domestic law enforcement, and then changing our gun laws to protect the lives of our fellow Americans. All of those are priorities for this country.
High Point University for planning a mass shooting.
This is another indication of the terror that so many young people feel. Children in elementary school classrooms, high school students who know that they may be hunted in the very halls through which they walk, college campuses, and we have too many examples in North Carolina and in Virginia and in states throughout the Union where someone was able to get their hands on a firearm that they should not have been able to possess, or own that firearm and despite the warning signs was able to use it against themselves or other people, or continue to threaten and terrorize their fellow students and their fellow Americans. The answer to this is ensuring that we have gun laws that prevent this kind of violence and terrorism from taking place. It means that we ensure that people feel safe and don't fear walking into a classroom or going out into public, and that we significantly reduce the number of gun violence deaths in this country, which last year approached 40,000. No other developed, wealthy country on the planet comes even close.